is Maria Horn. Maria is going to talk to us about the Sharon Healthcare Center and COVID-19. Good morning, Maria.
Good morning.
Well, it's interesting. I've had a lot of emails over the course of the weekend. Brent Colley, of course, sent an email out to folks in Sharon, Connecticut, showing his disappointment of the decision to come to the Sharon Daycare Center. First of all, let's talk with you. I know that you and Brent and other leaders across the state had a telephone conversation over the course of the weekend with various state officials. In one instance, I would imagine you've been on the phone a lot more than that. But can you give us your latest update and take about what's going on with the daycare center?
With the healthcare center.
Yeah, Sharon Healthcare Center. Yeah.
Sure. The conversation this weekend was sort of on a continuum of a kind of constant conversations about this, because this has been a process. And what happened on Saturday was the executive order that underpinned the whole surge plan that the governor has been rolling out and announcing over the course of the last few days. So that gave the authority to do. In fact, what really, on Saturday, the only thing that was new in the executive order, other than the authority, was the giving the state the ability to, in some circumstances, involuntarily discharge someone from Sharon Healthcare.
That's something that people have been contacting me with, and they said they've spoken to their family who are residing, and they have been told that that's not going to happen. And there's a feeling I got when I read the executive order, and I'm glad that you confirmed it, is that executive order is all powerful, and if the state wants to move people, they will move people.
I've had a lot of conversations about that, because obviously that's highly concerning, and it puts people are in excruciating situations here, no matter what. These are, Sharon Healthcare has 8 COVID positive residents right now. They have a few that have been sort of confirmed to be free, but they have a whole lot in the middle that are awaiting their test results or awaiting getting a test. And so there is an assumption there that there are more than 8 positives at Sharon Healthcare Center, and when we get those results, that the infection rate is going to be higher than we know it today.
And I looked at the numbers that are released by the state. The latest numbers, which were released yesterday, 1,181 nursing home residents have confirmed COVID-19. 322 are in the hospital, and 165, unfortunately, have passed away. So right now, in the state, if they were going to move all COVID patients that are still alive and in nursing homes to the 3 sites that they've selected, it's almost 600 people.
So let's back up here. They are not. The plan is not to move all COVID patients. Many nursing homes are capable of and currently doing Plan A, which is isolating COVID positive residents within their facility and caring for them in a segregated unit. Some are doing that. Some are not capable of doing that for staffing reasons, because of the physical constraints of the building itself, and there's concern that they can't protect the non-COVID positive residents from the infection. And so that's what's sort of driving it. There are some institutions that just can't protect their non-COVID positive people. So I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know what the number is. I do know that the first stage of this surge plan has 4 facilities that were named to take COVID positive nursing home residents. One is Sharon Healthcare, one is in Bridgeport, and then there are 2 nursing homes that were closed recently that are being reopened. So the 4 facilities total will provide 500 beds.
That's exactly what I thought. I said if the numbers matched up, it's a fairly close match if you take out the fact that there are maybe some nursing homes that can handle it. But would you not put Sharon Daycare Center possibly in that category of because it's in a residential area and because we're basically they need a lot of help if they're going to move COVID-19 patients more into Sharon. Don't you think that that the healthcare company that owns it would want to staff it higher and also make sure that they had the PPEs?
Yeah, for sure. So there are two. I mean, they're all looking at. So here's. I mean, I've been sort of immersed in the how this decision got made. And to start with, they're looking at what facilities can segregate appropriately, and they're looking to create the COVID positive, completely COVID positive facilities. And they created. There's an the state is going to compensate those facilities that take on this with an additional. They're now getting a $600 per diem patient rate for every COVID positive patient they take. So in other words, they're trying to that is supposed to be for compensating staff, hiring additional staff, and the expenses that the operator will have to undergo if they take this on. The state itself is supposed to be responsible for PPE. So a lot of my conversations have been about PPE. What do they need? What do they have? What do they have today? It's not a static situation. It's also the fluid situation. What can they expect to continue to get as the state ramps up PPE? And that is a very fluid and ongoing conversation that we have to have. So, I mean, what happened here is that the state, the governor laid out a desire to create some segregated facilities, and then, as you correctly note, so which ones are they going to be? And the next part of that is Athena offered to do it. So, what you have is, an incentive plan from the state that's designed to compensate nursing home for the significant additional expense you'd have to expend in order to make it safe for the residents, for the staff, and for the neighborhood. And then you have a willing operator that says, yeah, that's me, I can do it. And it's a private business. And so a lot of this, we need to lean on Athena as well for deciding that they can do this and getting the facts behind that decision. And verifying the fact that they do have what they need in order to do this safely for all of us.
I think you're right. That's the major thing here is that Athena officials should come up here to Sharon and meet with officials from Sharon and, of course, you and also our state senator and give us the exact plan, how many people they're going to bring in to help out, where their PPE supply is, how solid that line is, and everything like that. I think that would be at minimum something that should be done. We did have somebody send me a question. They wanted to know the percentage of senior citizens who passed away. All I have from the state is that out of those 1,181 nursing home residents, 322 were hospitalized with COVID-19. And out of that, an astounding 14% have died, 165. Those are the figures that we have from the state. I don't have any other figures to pass along to the people that just sent that message in. So would you endorse the idea of the healthcare company coming up here, speaking with you and Brent, and also a town hall, and letting us know their exact plans, how they're going to make this safe for the residents and how they're going to make it safe for the people around here, and more importantly, how they're also going to make it safe for the people who work at Sharon Healthcare Center?
I think that's an excellent idea. I think more information from people in a position to provide it would be huge for us. And so I heartily endorse getting Athena to do that. Let me also add, though, that I think it would help to have the various state officials who are involved in here come out and speak to us. And I have been, the long-term care ombudsman has offered to do that, via Zoom, at a variety of times, including at there's a Board of Selectmen's meeting coming up on Tuesday in Sharon at 3:00, I think. And I've been in touch with the Board of Selectmen. I know there's all kinds of processes in order to get the agenda changed and things like that, but she is willing to Zoom into that meeting, and we're working on also getting people from DSS and DPH to do that as well, to be, to give give people a chance to get questions answered.
Well, if we can get that agenda changed, what we'll do is we'll make sure that everybody has the correct Zoom address that they can listen in that meeting, and even the Selectmen's meeting also has public comment as well. But I wish you would keep us really up to date more here on this, because this has been a fluid situation from the beginning, but it's becoming more fluid. And now, of course, with the issuance of the executive order, even more urgent for us around here.
One thing I also want to point out about there's so many. This is so complex. Yeah. But so in all my conversations about the executive order in particular, and about the involuntary discharges, that is, I think everybody involved understands that this is as a last resort, and they feel like they have to save the life and the safety of a patient who is at risk of becoming infected, and they don't have any choice but to move them. They fully contemplate that there are going to be circumstances, at Sharon, where families are going to decide for the, health and dignity and, safety of my mom. And I say this from my own. I mean, I had a mother who had severe dementia at the end of her life, and she was moved at one point because I was, trying to make a change I thought would be for the better, and it was disastrous. So I understand that is an excruciating decision, and some families are going to decide that despite the risks, and the risks are significant, this is also a heartbreaking decision. Somebody might make that decision to keep them there, and nobody will move them. So.
All right. Well, Maria, thank you once again for taking time and joining us this morning.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Take care, Marshall.
Maria Horn on Robin Hood Radio this morning.